Chibiso running behind this one, but Dudlu, Sipiwe Dudlu, 58 caps for Dudlu, keeping it safety first there. South Africa. And now it's a corner kick again for Cameroon, making a big chance now for them to try and get a goal here. It's all taken close to goal, and next, and it's in the back of the net. It's Cameroon who scored, and it's 18-year-old Fuju Raisa who scored for Cameroon after Ruxin Barker fumbles the ball in the box, and Cameroon takes the lead with 4 minutes of the game remaining. The 18-year-olds have done it for Cameroon. She plays the football in Turkey. Look at that close corner, and Ruxin couldn't take that one. Fumbles it. There you go again. The header comes from the defender there. And the mix-up in the box, and then the Cameroonian midfielder, Fujio Reisha, scored for Cameroon. And that's what it meant for the bench when Cameroon scored the goal. So it's Cameroon that scored late here. Now everything to play for South Africa. It's 1-0 here at the Independence Stadium. The Cameroonians takes the lead. The last time these two teams met in the African Women Championship, it was South Africa who beat Cameroon by 2-0 to secure the 3rd place in 2010. But now Cameroon coming up with a bit of revenge here. Here comes South Africa. A big clearance. And it's a corner kick to South Africa. This is where they need to push everybody up.
All right, so that was how it happened. Cameroon getting the win this time over South Africa. Let's read your comments on Twitter very quickly, and then we will switch to the big one, which is the Super Eagles and all that happened over the weekend. A lot of people on Twitter are asking that we should just keep talking about the girls and we shouldn't talk about the Super Eagles at all. It's not possible. We have to look at where we fail and ensure that we don't make the same mistakes again. I hope you agree with me.
I do. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We are not going to just talk about the girls alone. But let me read a few comments on Twitter. This is coming from Jude Thaddeus Obaze from Cyprus. It says, I feel short of words to express the calamity in Sudan. Where do we go from here? Well, where do we go from here? We are back in Abuja and hopefully get a win on Wednesday. Well, this one is very abusive. Obembe Ladimeji says, if truly Tunde and Toby stayed away, he says they are not being professional. This is the time that they are needed. And he says Keshi should leave because Keshi has not really lived up to the billings. At A_Coos, he says Keshi has done well and should be celebrated, but he must equally know when to bow out. The time is now. That's coming from A_Cozy. Ajadela Dimeji says, I have made up my mind never to cry over spilled milk. Eagles issues is a forgotten issue. Let's talk about the girls only. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of comments.
I do.
I'm sure it's almost similar to what we're saying. Yeah. But just put us through.
2 tweets that, 3 that catches the eye. This one, Rotimi Olushesi at Rotimi Olushesi said, talking to us on Channel Sports, I think it's time the NFF take the issue of technical advisors seriously. Keshi is a lucky coach, not a good one. He should leave. That's from Rotimi Olushesi. Druji Anthony says, maybe we should just recall the Falcons from the African Women's tomorrow and play the next 3 games. It seems they might do a better job. That's Druji Anthony. And this one, SJA at SJAPH, I hope I got that right. He says, I think it's now clear that Keshi can't give the Super Eagles what he doesn't have. That's good technical ability. He is too heady as a coach?
Well, Orobola Ikbola, I hope I got the name correct, says if Keshi wants to retain his job, he should humbly request for a technical assistant. Then people can give him a second thought. That's what he says. Oniya Kelvin says the Falcons were very impressive. I thought the scoreline flattered the Ivorians. Could have been more, but they should tighten up at the back. For the Super Eagles, I have nothing to say. That's what Oniya Kelvin is saying. I think so. I think so too. The girls created plenty of chances, could only score 4. Could have been double the amount if they had converted all the chances that they created.
And they brought the Ivorians back into the game. Because the second goal, in my opinion,
when it was 1-0, the Ivorians got a penalty on the platter. When it was 3-1, the Ivorians came back. I mean, defensive mix-up.
The goal was a gift. And, you know, when they play stronger teams, they shouldn't be doing that. But if you look at what they have going forward, you know, you want to rest your mind and say, even if they concede 1 or 2 odd goals here and there, they would score when they move. All
right, the last tweet from me, Solomon I. Ogulumba says, Keshi should be encouraged to bring in more strikers into the team. Ike Uche should be forgiven and brought in to help Emmanuel Emenike. That's Solomon Ogulumba at Ogulumba I. That's what it says. All right. I think it's time for us to go on a quick break now. This time we want to switch and talk about the guys. Austin Okonakpan put together a very beautiful report on the reactions of fans after the loss to Sudan on Saturday. Expectedly, the fans were very hard, very, very hard. But sit back, enjoy the report. We'll come back. Hopefully, by the time we're back, we'll be getting somebody to speak to us on the Eagles and the way forward on Sports Tonight. Join us again.
After recording an average performance at the World Cup in Brazil, the Super Eagles kicked off their 2015 Cup of Nations qualification campaign in a game against Congo.
Technical play from the Nigerians, and what celebration we have there.
No one saw it coming as Congo shocked Nigeria to a 3-2 victory at the UJ Swene Stadium in Calabar. At that time, the crisis in Nigerian Football Federation was blamed for the defeat, but coach Stephen Keshi remained optimistic.
And that must be goal number 2. It is a goal for Congo.
Football, Brazil lost 7-1, they lost 3-0. Everybody's going to lose someday. We cannot win all the games, but this is where we need the media, this is where we need the Nigerians to be behind the team and say, go this team to South Africa and win.
He's got the pace.
Then came the game against South Africa. The Super Eagles showed some improvements but couldn't fly over the Bafana team.
Ball inside, chance for Nigeria, cleared off the line by Matoho.
Pressure quickly walked into the Nigerian camp, and to stay relevant, the game against Sudan was christened the must win. This was what the Group A table looks like before kickoff. Football followers have described the game in Khartoum as another embarrassing performance by the Super Eagles, and Sudan's Bakri Al-Madina punished them in the 42nd minute.
Beautifully done then by Bakri Abd El-Gadi.
With just 1 point from 3 games and comfortably sitting at the bottom of the Group A table, football fans want coach Stephen Keshi out and doubt Nigeria's chances of defending their Nations Cup title in Morocco next year.
And the Eagles will live to fight another day.
Keshi, to the best of my knowledge, is bringing his primordial interest against national interest, which is bad. If you have issues with player, look, rest it. But Nigerians are calling, bringing players. Now, among the players that played the match, how many of them are playing in top flight league across the world? How many of them are commanding first team shirts? How many of them play regularly for their team that maintain, let's say, 60 minutes game in their clubs? But you have players who are playing in their club 90 minutes. You decide to bench them because you have one motive or the other against them.
The cause of this problem is in totality. The FA has its own problem. Even the coach, Stephen Keshi, has really disappointed Nigerians. We all fought for this man to become the coach of this country, and we all hold him in high esteem. But today, he has rubbed all that we have, entrusted in his hands on the mud. In fact, you can imagine a Nigerian national team that has first-team players, the likes of Ikechukwu Uche. He's playing top-flight football, he's scoring goals. Obafemi Martins is scoring goals in America. We can't even field him in a match that we are supposed to win and gather 3 points to move to the zenith of the group.
Bottom of the group for Stephen Keshi.
It's unbelievable, but it's so true. In the 2015 African Cup of Nations qualifiers, current African champions Nigeria have secured just 1 point from 3 games. Some football followers in the country believe the leadership of the Nigerian Football Federation